Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to my review of this knife. As you can see, it has what looks like C-tek on each side of the handle. That is a honeycomb of wire in a resin matrix. Interesting. It also has what looks like a type of spike on the pommel, and it has an integrated sub-hilt as well. I have a large size hand, and that's how it fits a large size hand. The steel on this is M390 powder steel from Austria, a steel that many would call a super steel. So we're definitely going to discuss that. The blade length is about 5.6 inches. Overall, an unusual knife. Now I am going to put the name of the seller / maybe the brand up in the title. I am not familiar with the seller, the brand, or the maker. Never heard of them. So I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it does have very good fit and finish. I will say that. That is flush. This was sold as a hunting knife. I could see that the blade shape does remind me of some of my buck hunting knives. All right, so I did test it against some organic matter. Here it is slicing some pork belly. Love the pork belly. But the thing is, you know, they're selling it as a hunting knife, but that handle screams like collectible knife, right? So it's both. It's like a collectible hunting knife. It's like basically a really nice hunting knife with some premium steel. It's doing a pretty good job on cutting up chunks of an animal, basically. If you wanted to cube some beef for a stew, I mean, I'm sure you could slice open a carcass with this. The sub-hilt just acts to keep a firm grip on the knife, even if things get messy. All right, so it did well. I cut a few other things with this knife just because, you know, before you hunt your animal and use it on the carcass, a hunting knife is just a utility knife that you use in the woods for basic tasks. So that was the paracord. Here is the nylon strap material. Yeah, so I hope you're all doing well these days. I tried to arrange this scene so there's a nice calm background, right? To help relieve stress with the beauty of nature. So now we are whittling a piece of wood. If you had to sharpen a pencil or something of that nature, this knife will do. It definitely came very sharp. All right, so let's talk about that super steel. Why is it a super steel, M390? Well, one of its primary features is that it has a lot of edge retention. What that means is you're not going to have to resharpen it too often. It can be safely hardened to a very high degree. As you see, it whittled our pointy piece of wood very well. So edge retention is one factor that people like. Here I am putting a notch on this stick there, the old bushcrafter notch. But, you know, people say, but if it has such good edge retention, is it difficult to resharpen? Well, you know, everything has a trade-off, but I mean, like, ceramic sharpening rods are still harder than steel, even a super steel. So don't be afraid of that. You know, there's always a way, a technique. All right, making good progress. The safe pinch grip from bushcraft. But all right, so there's our notch right there. Here I am just carving a pointy end to our stick. But yeah, just look at the beauty of nature. Try to forget your problems. What problems? I already forgot them. No. Good, excellent. You already forgot them? Yeah. So this is a very interesting knife. You know, if you've been into knives for a long time, you're always kind of looking for something unusual. And this really popped out at me. I was like, what the heck is this? They say that spike on the pommel is supposed to represent, like the spike and the sub-hilt are supposed to be like the fins or tail of a fish. Okay, I can kind of see that, like an outdoor knife. The handle is sort of like a fish. I can kind of see that. Here's the sheath. It is leather. It is cowhide leather. And it's got a cross strap button closure. And it has that belt loop. I don't know about the sheath. I don't know if it fits with how nice the knife is, but that's the sheath that it came with. Okay, initial sharpness. No touch-up whatsoever. It was very sharp. And as I said, it did not require any touch-up at all, which makes me feel better about the seller because that's a mark of quality. Almost every knife, even from good brands, I usually touch up maybe for only a minute or two out of the box, but this required none. It's like somebody already touched it up by hand, possibly. It's an attractive knife, definitely. I think this is like three things in one, right? It's a hunting knife blade shape. The handle makes it nice and collectible. And the Sub-Hilt, although I think it's there for safety when you're cutting a messy carcass, you want a strong grip. But the fact that it has that artistic like spike on the pommel, it could be considered a fancy collectible fighting knife. So collectible hunting / fighting blade? Yeah, I dig it. It's unusual. I'm glad I picked it up, really. Just an unusual addition to my collection. And hey, I like the Super Steel. I'll include links to this below if you're on US Amazon and to the seller and the seller's store. They have some interesting stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been We All Juggle Knives. Subscribe for more. I'm out.